Hey, welcome to another Saturday edition of the Bama Standard. This is going to be a quick take between myself and Coach Gerald Smoke Dixon, baby. We got something we got to touch. New Alabama offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb made a statement that I think a lot of Alabama fans wanted to hear, needed to hear, because again, throughout the season, they were so critical of myself, you, and other former players for making certain statements that are actually very much in line with what Ryan Grubb said. This is what he said. We should be able to push the ball down the field. We should be able to finish runs and block with explosive manner. I think we really show what this offense needs to look like from a standpoint of what people will be threatened when they see us. Ooh. Now, again, the thing that stood out to me the most was we should be able to push the ball down the field and finish runs. We just talked about this the other day, the fact that Alabama's run game was not what people thought it would be, given the hype going into the season. Everybody, all they wanted to talk about was what? Justice and jam. How they
Correct.
were supposed to be the number one running back room in the country. When I say we might have been somewhere in the back end in the hundreds in the country. So we almost finished last opposed to what everyone thought. So then you have new OC Ryan Grubb come in and say everything that we've been saying, but he said it in a subtle way to where it didn't actually come off as a straight jab at Nick Sheridan, but it's a jab at Nick Sheridan.
Oh, he poked him, Mook. So Mook, all we said all year was simply that Alabama had enough to get into the conversation if they do it right and call the game the proper way towards what their personnel group said. You had the best running quarterback in college football, and the running quarterback in college football is the greatest equalizer to anything, the passing game and in the running game. It opens up everything. You get the middle of the field player out in the middle of the field. You can get a loaded box or you can get a light box, all depending on what you want to do. But when the new OC comes in, Ryan Grubb, and I appreciate his honesty, and he basically went and watched the same tape that everybody else has been watching, that we've been watching. And he was quite critical of Nick Sheridan. Now, it wasn't saying, Nick, that you're awful, but he's saying the things that we need to do, we aren't doing them at a high rate. That's a true leader of going in there, assessing the issues that they have, and say, you know what? I might have the answers to it. Now, time will tell if he does. Now, when you talk about a vertical passing game, one of the things that Jalen Milroe did very good last year was throw the deep ball. And when you have one of the most dynamic players in college football, Ryan Williams, you should be able to press the ball and push the ball vertically downfield. C.J. Dupree, a very good tight end. I've known C.J. Dupree since I was working at University of Maryland as a general manager. C.J. can run. He can be a vertical threat being a tight end. You had guys up front that can protect enough. Your quarterback can buy time with his legs. So with that said, 1,000% he's honest with it. And I hope the Crimson Nation and the Tide Nation don't look at it as saying it's a jab at Nick Sheridan. He's trying to get back at him, or just saying, hey, listen, he wasn't calling it right. No, he's just saying these are the issues and we're going to solve them. Now I just want to see how.
Now, with this, the main point that I wanted to address with this, what is this going to do, or what would the working relationship potentially look like with Nick Sheridan still on staff and new OC Ryan Grubb coming in, who just took a shot at him?
Right. Mook, I can give you the answer to it. It ain't going to go over well, and it's not. You and I are both competitors, and when you have someone to come in when you've been demoted, like, the noble thing to do is you get out and you go find another job, because everything that you've installed and everything that you've done is getting questioned. I'll give you an example. When I was working for the Buffalo Bills as a scout, I was with the staff with Doug Whaley, Jim Monas. We all got fired. The first time in NFL history, Sean McDermott came in. We had a great draft. The draft with Tre'Davious White, Deion Dawkins, Matt Milano, the cornerstone of what they're doing right now. That was our draft. I got up the Sunday morning, getting a call from HR. Like, we all got fired. After that day, after the last day of the draft, the Sunday, everybody got called in and got cleared out. Long story short, I'm the only one that got hired back into the building. So every single day that I walked into that building, you know what I heard? Man, why did y'all draft this guy? Why did y'all do this? Why is this here? Why is this trash can here? Why is this carpet here? So everything that you do, you get questions. So after a while, you're like, hey, man, listen, enough. So that's what Nick is going to go through this year. And that's what he's going through right now in the spring. The heat was on him, but it's the stove is really hotter on his butt right now because now you have the number one group that you have to coach, the quarterbacks. And the OC is going to be looking over there saying, hey, listen, I know what you did last year with this offense, and I know what you're going to do. You might think that you're going to do with these quarterbacks. But, hey, listen, man, I'm going to come over there every single day. I'm going to watch every single drill, and I'm going to come in there and watch every install and how you're doing it with my offense.
And with that, I would not be surprised to see Nick Sheridan potentially take a new job and us have a new quarterback coach, because that statement alone is going to make it very difficult for those two to work together. Because you basically said, I am terrible at my job. You putting me on PRP at this point. and anything that I do wrong is going to be in the spotlight. It's going to be magnified because you just said all the things we struggled with.
Right.
Now, if we continue to struggle, are you going to blame the new OC or are you going to blame the quarterback coach if the quarterback isn't performing, if the pass game isn't going? You're going to say, hey, y'all didn't do this right last year, so why are you doing it right this year?
He ain't coaching it right. So let me get my guy in. And it always starts that way. How can I get my guy in there? And we've seen it. Kalen DeBoer has looked at it and said, hey, listen, I'm not going to mess with this. I'm going to give Ryan Grubb the opportunity to make sure that this offense is right. So I'm going to step away and make sure it's done right.
But, too, I think, Coach DeBoer, he has done a lot to create some of this confusion and mess because at the end of the season, what did he say? I'm not making a change. I'm sticking with Nick Sheridan. So you provide this false narrative, this false hope that Nick Sheridan will be the OC moving forward. Then here we are come, late January, early February. Now it's Ryan Grubb. So you basically just told Nick Sheridan, hey, I know I told you this, but this ain't really what it's going to be. I was just pacifying you through the media to make it seem like this is what it's going to be. But in reality, I knew the whole time I wanted to make a change. See, so that's one of the points where he should have went in and said, hey, we're going to look at it and we'll make a decision based upon what's best for the team instead of saying, no, I'm not going to make a change. Because the moment you say, no, I'm not, everybody's going to hold you at your word. So again, that's one of those times when it's, hey, we're going to look at it and we're going to do what's best for the team moving forward. That was the answer that Coach DeBoer should have said.
But he didn't. He left it wide open for all parties to attack each other and figure this out. But you know what, Mook? Time will tell.
Spring ball. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to let you finish that, but I want you to add something to this. Whenever you have a messy coaching situation, which this, if they don't get it together, it's shaping up to look kind of messy.
It might be a lot of finger pointing.
Right.
Not a lot of thumb pointing, but finger pointing.
Let's go back to the last time we had a situation where there's a lot of finger pointing. The 2000 season, when Alabama came in ranked number 3. We know, because we were there, what that coaching staff was doing. It was a whole lot of this in that building, and we ended up going 3-8, and they were all fired at the end of the season because the whole time, all they was doing was this at each other.
Well, Mo, that comes down, when the finger pointing starts, it comes down to pure leadership. And that's the guy at the head. Now, I love Coach DuBose and gave me a great opportunity, both of us opportunity to go play college football and help our careers. But one of the things that whenever I talked to Coach DuBose, when I got older and we sat down and had real good conversation, was just a lack of leadership and direction. And I didn't think that we had the direction and the proper leadership at the top in order to get everybody going in the right direction and to stop the finger pointing. And as you're seeing it now, you see little and subtle little jabs coming out. Now it's on Coach DeBoer to come out and say, hey, guys, I get it. But the way that this looks to the media and looks to our fans is that we aren't united and we aren't moving in the same direction.
And that goes back to the statement. We're not making a change at OC. I'm sticking with what we have. And then a month and a half later, it's Ryan Grubb as the new OC. Again, that statement should have been, we're going to evaluate and do what's best for the team. And just left it at that. The moment you say, I'm going to do something and you do the complete opposite.
Trust is out the window.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, Mook. Got to find a quarterback, got to find the right tackle, got to find a left guard. You got to find a vertical passing game, which Ryan said we're going to do. And He's telling Robert Gillespie, your running backs need to finish runs better than they did last year. So not only a shot at Nick, shot at Ryan, and also a shot at the O-line coach of saying we got to protect it, we got to block it. So everybody is on notice when the new Boston.
But you think about it though. The more you think about it, there's so many other implications to the way it was handled. Because again, the same way he said that there wouldn't be a change, you're gonna have coaches that are gonna use and weaponize that against him. Like when it comes to recruiting, okay, I know Coach DeBoer told you you're gonna play early, blah blah blah, but he also told Nick Sheridan he was gonna be the OC going into the 2025 season, and Ryan Grubb is now. I'm telling you, when you put your foot in your mouth at this day, in this day and age, people will weaponize your words against you. So it'll be interesting to see how coaches use that statement, because again, he said it in December and did the complete opposite. Right. And if I'm a head coach, you think I ain't gonna use that against him?
But man, I'm gonna give Coach DeBoer credit for understanding that there was an issue within the offense, and he got the guy that he's always wanted to come in and rectify what's happening right now with his team and his offense. So again, shout out to him for understanding the problem, fixing it the way it's getting fixed. You might need to button it up a little bit, but again, like we said, we're in February. Spring ball's around the corner. They're in winter workouts right now. Time will tell. You got to find a quarterback first. You got to find somebody to protect the quarterback. And someone outside of Ryan Williams needs to be another explosive playmaker on that offense.
That's a very valid point. And then let's look at one other statement here. You just said you have to find a quarterback, right? Everybody know we have Russell coming in, number one recruited, highest recruited,
highly rated quarterback.
Now, let's take a look at Coach DeBoer's statement made back in December. Now, if he's told Ty Simpson or Austin Mack that, hey, you're going to be the starter, and then Russell comes in and he's the starter, you have another instance. I'm telling you.
Well, like I said, I'm not gonna say what I haven't heard or if I'm not present, I'm not gonna put it on them. Time will tell.
Yeah.
With what we see moving forward from the staff to players, from trust and understanding that what Coach DeBoer is trying to get done, stand firm on it, 10 toes down on it, and just be a man of his word and get this leadership in the right direction.
I'm with you, brother. I'm looking forward. That's all I got today.
You came in hot, my boy. Steaming.
Hey, I seen that this morning. I was like,
that's the first thing I woke up and saw. You shot that over to me.
It's like, you have to be in alignment. You have to be. And oftentimes being in alignment requires you to be very methodical in the statements that you make. Well back in the past, before you even deal with situations.
Right.
As a head coach, you constantly have to be forecasting, thinking down the road. You have to be thinking about April, May, June. So the statements you make now don't contradict what you do at that time. And a lot of people don't realize that head coach, they have to be very methodical, man, in the way they say certain things. And, because again, everything that they say is always going to be in the media. So it's always going to be available for somebody to weaponize it. So, again, I'm just looking forward to seeing how it goes. Hey, I'm always roll tide, though.
That you are.
All right, brother. You have a good one. We out.